Welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic, and in this video I'm going to be talking about Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. So this is a series that's being developed for Netflix, and they've already started filming, I believe, production on season 1 for this show, and I knew this was a thing, but I didn't really keep up on the news about it. But now an article came out announcing all the cast members that's going to be a part of the show. So this article is from Deadline. Now, there's going to be a few of the names here I'm going to butcher, so I'm going to try my best. Neil Gaiman's The Sandman casts Tom Sturridge, Gwendolyn Christie, Vivienne Archipong, Boyd Holbrook, Charles Dance, Asim Chaudhry, and Sanjeev Bhaskar. Okay, so I tried my best there with that. Apologies if I butchered anyone's name. So this is the cast right here. So this is Tom Sturridge, and he's going to be playing the Sandman, and I think that's dead on casting. That looks really good, actually. I like that casting choice. And so then we've got Charles Dance is Roderick Burgess, and then we got Boyd Holbrook is the Corinthian, and Asim Chaudhry is Abel, and Sanjeev Bhaskar is Cain. And Vivienne Archipong is Lucian, Librarian of the Dreaming. And now this one choice here was a little bit controversial. I've seen some people kicking up a stink about this on Twitter. Gwendolyn Christie is Lucifer, Ruler of Hell. So apparently, now it's been a long time since I've read a Sandman comic. I read a few of the volumes many years ago now. And I have some like stashed away somewhere in my collection of books I have to dig out. I've been meaning to dig them out and give them another read. But apparently in the comics, Lucifer, Ruler of Hell, was male. And so people are kind of kicking up a bit of a stink about this. And they're saying it's not really true to the comic, which I don't really see the big deal in this kind of a gender swap for this series, since it was pointed out that a lot of the characters in the Sandman comics, like Sandman himself, and that they're just anthropomorphic manifestations of people's thoughts. So they always appear different to the person, whichever person is perceiving them, depending on their thoughts anyway. So to me, that's not a big deal. That's it's a pretty easy thing to get around. But whenever they do this, especially nowadays, it's always controversial, one side or the other. And as for myself, I'm trying less and less to get like wrapped up in the controversy of certain casting choices and stuff like that. And I kind of get it. Some people want, especially when it's a comic book, people want stuff to be as true to the source material as possible. And then some people, they think everything should be changed just for the sake of changing it. But anyway, let's get on with the rest of the article here. It seems like forever, but the wait is about to end. The anticipated Netflix adaptation of Neil Gaiman's popular comic book series, The Sandman, is coming together. Tom Sturridge, Gwendolyn Christie, Vivienne Archipong, Boyd Holbrook, Charles Dance, Asim Chaudhry, and Sanjeev Bhaskar have been set to star in the dark fantasy series based on the DC Comics. The series is described as a rich blend of modern myth and dark fantasy, in which contemporary fiction, historical drama, and legend are seamlessly interwoven. Sandman follows the people and places affected by Morpheus, the Dream King, as he tries to fix all the cosmic and human mistakes he's made during his vast existence. Alan Heinberg, Wonder Woman, Grey's Anatomy, will serve as showrunner and executive producer alongside Gaiman and David S. Goyer. Gaiman, Goyer, and Heinberg are co-writers on the project. For the last 33 years, the Sandman characters have breathed and walked around and talked in my head. I'm unbelievably happy that now, finally, they got to step out of my head and into reality, Gaiman said in a statement. I can't wait until the people out there get to see what we've been seeing as dream, and the rest of them take flesh. And the flesh belongs to some of the finest actors out there. He added, this is astonishing, and I'm so grateful to the actors and to all of the Sandman collaborators, Netflix, Warner Brothers, DC, to Alan Heinberg and David Goyer. and the legions of crafters and geniuses on the show for making the wildest of all my dreams into reality. Sandman adds to Gaiman's list of fantasy series based on his work, which includes Amazon's Good Omens, Star's American's Gods, and Lucifer, which now streams on Netflix. So the one thing I find surprising is, since this is a DC Comics property, that this isn't going to be something that's just exclusive to HBO Max. So that's kind of surprising. But I'm kind of glad it's not, because then I can watch it. Now, if you haven't read the Sandman comics, they're really good. I got into them through reading Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, and that's how I kind of became aware of Neil Gaiman. And the whole Vertigo line back in the 90s, it was just fantastic. And the Swamp Thing with Alan Moore on that comic book, that was kind of like Vertigo before there was Vertigo, and that actually helped launch the Vertigo line in the 90s. And Neil Gaiman's Sandman was like one of the standout books of that. And I didn't read the Sandman until like later on. I was a bit older. Like when I was in my teens and stuff, I was more into the mainstream superhero stuff. But when I actually started reading Sandman, I was in my like early to mid 20s, and I just thought it was really good, really liked it. And it's right up there with Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, kind of that same like mythical feel the two stories had. And just made for a really interesting, almost like a sub-universe to the DC's main universe. And Neil Gaiman is a really good writer, and I've read, he's got some books, quite a few novels out too. One that I read a few years back and thought it was really good was Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere. Neverwhere was a really good novel. It was really fantastic. Read that one and loved it. It had a comic book tie-in too, but I never ever read the comics. I just read the novel. And I have a couple of his books in my collection that I still have yet to read, but we'll have to get around to reading them. So this is a Netflix series that they could really, because of what it's based on, they could really knock it out of the park with this thing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this series. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.